What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. Hope you're all doing very well. This is the first video of season 4. We're there. We're in season 4. We're having a blast. I've been on my Pally and my Frost Death Knight. If you guys were watching the stream, I did like a like an 18-hour stream or something. We didn't quite make it to 24 hours, but we did a lot of streaming in the last couple of days, and I have done a lot of keys and raid. We've done a lot of Mythic Plus. We've done it all. My rating's 1592 on my Pally right now. We kind of went just soaring out of the gates. I just want to talk about Pally and how it's been performing and how good it really feels to play this thing, because a lot of people were dooming Unholy Paladin when we were coming into this season. People are kind of dooming Unholy Paladin in general. This is a +9 not good that I did, which is the equivalent of like a +18 or 19 in the old season. And remember, we're not geared yet, right? I don't have a lot of gear yet. So I'm like 491, I think, in this footage. And by the time we're doing +20s in the new season, which is actually just a +10, you should probably be around like 505, maybe 510, maybe even a little bit higher, actually. So we are under geared for the content right now, which is great. It means it's a challenge. That's really fun. That's why new seasons are so good. A lot of people like to engage with content that is going to be difficult for you to tackle, because it means that it actually challenges your ability to play the game rather than just like overgearing everything and blasting, right? So this has been a lot of fun, and I've been nothing but happy with the way Paladin has been performing. Holy Paladin has just been absolutely slapping. Even the damage is pretty good. I did pick up a Kyrakas. Let me go to my gear again really quickly and just show you. I mean, look at the breakdown there. Kyrakas is so disgustingly strong. I'll show you my gear really quick. We're 491. I did pick up a couple of cool trinkets. So I've got Kyrakas, which is the main trinket that I talked about before the season started that I wanted to get. I have a champion level 1. I got it in like a +2 or something. Or yeah, like a +2 that we did. It was like the first +2 Ruby Life Pulls that we did, and I got it, which was kind of insane. This is like one of my end game trinkets that I'm going to be keeping. I've got Water's Beating Heart, which has been interesting. It's been very interesting. I don't really love it, but it's actually got a very powerful effect. It ends up giving you almost 2,000 versatility, and it procs like once every 30 seconds or so, is what I've noticed. It puts this debuff on you, and you have to dispel yourself, and then it gives you a buff. And that might sound really tedious and kind of weird, and it is. It's not the best trinket in the world. I think in raid, actually, it has the potential to be very strong. I'm going to try it tonight in raid, because the shields that it grants, it hits all nearby allies with a shield. So if you're like near your entire raid when this thing procs, you can give like a 50k shield to like 20 people, which does end up making it worth it. I think in Mythic Plus, it's not really worth it. I do have 2-piece as well. So I have old 2-piece and new 2-piece. So I'm 2+2 right now. The new 2-piece is very strong. It makes your Holy Shock really feel strong. It actually gets some weight behind it, which is fantastic. And you can just see in the overall results of some of the keys that I've been doing. I've done like a 6 and a 6 and a 7 and an 8. Holy Shock ends up doing a ton of healing. It's way up at the top here. It's almost always in my top 2, my top 3. It's just really good. And sometimes when it crits, it's critting for just like so much more, right? A crit automatically does like double healing, and then you're going to add 80% on top of that with a new 2-piece bonus. So once I get the new 4-piece bonus, which I might be able to get next week, I mean, I've gotten very lucky with gear, so I'm happy with the way it is right now. It's okay if it takes me a couple more weeks to get more gear, but once I get the full 4-piece, it's going to be very strong. It's going to really buff Holy Prism's healing and make it a formidable healing spell once again. Right now, it's kind of like we kind of have a dumbed down version of it, but all in all, the breakdown has been very interesting, and one of the most, I don't want to say controversial, but like no Paladin that I've ever seen is taking veneration, which you just saw in my details there as being one of my top heals, and it just ends up showing up dungeon after dungeon. I keep throwing my Hammer of Wrath, and it ends up turning into healing. You can see, I'll just put this on the side here. My veneration healing is my top heal in one of these dungeons that I did. My top heal. It's hitting so hard. If you don't know what veneration does, it's that when I throw my Hammer of Wrath, it will heal up to 5 allies for, I believe, 200% of the damage that it deals. So if it crits and does a ton of damage, that crit turns into a critical heal as well. It's very strong. And I basically don't see people taking this. I mean, there's not a lot of Holy Paladins playing the game at all, okay, period. But certainly there aren't really Holy Paladins taking veneration. I'm going to do a whole video on it later, but I just know for now, it is like often my top heal, or it's always in my top 3. It is very, very strong. And I would highly recommend, if you're playing Holy Paladin this season like I am, check out Veneration. You should absolutely check it out because it's a very good talent. And it's been like my favorite way to play Paladin. It lets you throw your Hammer of Wraths more often. You can see it here. I have a proc on wings. Anytime you get wings, you can throw Hammer of Wrath. And then your Hammer of Wrath is going to heal. So it's like super strong. There's one Hammer of Wrath. I just threw one Hammer of Wrath. It crit. It hit everybody for like 65k, 55k. And then it went into beacon healing as well. The beacons got healed again for part of that. It's just incredible. Like, I'm telling you, this thing is just going to scale so hard into the late part of the expansion. And not only does it give you crazy healing, it gives you crazy damage, which is good too. Here's the second electrical storm here. This one was, this is a really tough boss. Remember, this is tyrannical week. These bosses are very, very hard, but we're getting through it. Holy Paladin can hold their own. Here's a Hammer of Wrath. Once again, there's another Hammer of Wrath. It crit for 109k, and then it critical healed everybody. And then that critical healing went into my beacons. So it's just like, I can't get over how good Veneration is. But Holy Paladin in general right now is feeling very good. This is one of the tougher bosses, I would say, in most of the dungeons that we have to do. Obviously, Oldemon is a very difficult dungeon this week because it has so many bosses and the bosses are really hard. I understand that, but in terms of other dungeons, this boss is quite difficult as well, which is it's just nice to see Paladin kind of holding its own. And I've just been pleasantly surprised, but I thought that it was going to be good. Once I saw the tier set bonus that we were getting for Holy Paladin in Season 4, I knew that it was going to be strong, and it has been strong. It's been really, really good. I'm just absolutely loving it. So, yeah, this was a plus. Again, this is +8. That means it's about a +17, and then we're under geared. This was a not good offensive that we ended up doing. I'm just going to show you the rest of my talents really quick, and I just wanted to give a little update just to show you guys how well this has been performing, because there's a lot of doubters, a lot of haters right now on Holy Paladin. I'm going to be pumping out as much content as I can to show you guys that this is actually a good healing spec, and it's been very strong. So we basically have to take Holy Prism now. Again, once you get the 4-piece, this especially becomes irrelevant. I don't think you actually have to take Holy Prism until you get the new 4-piece. You don't really need to, honestly. But you can if you want to. I took Barrier of Faith on a bunch of these different dungeons, and you can see, like, in the one screenshot that I have here, that it actually did okay. It was about 3.2% of my healing. Barrier of Faith, if you don't know, it puts a shield on somebody, and then all of your effective Holy Shock healing, or Holy Light, or Flashlight, but let's just say it's mostly going to be Holy Shock. 25% of your effective healing from Holy Shock turns into a bigger barrier that keeps accumulating on that person. So really good for like hunters and like enhancement shamans. Sometimes you can put it on the tank if they're getting absolutely destroyed, but it's almost like a third beacon, because you put it on somebody and it gives them a small shield, and then you do other healing, and all that other healing is going to accumulate onto them as a bigger shield. So it's kind of like a third beacon in that way, which I really enjoy. You don't have to take it. Again, I've just been experimenting, guys. I'm just having fun trying to experiment with stuff. I basically, if you're wondering how I get Veneration, I don't ever take Boundless Salvation. It only extends Tears Deliverance up to 40 seconds. So the base duration of Tears Deliverance is 20 seconds. You can get that up to 40, which is very good. Don't get me wrong. It's good. But I found Veneration to be more than sufficient. Actually better, I think, than extending my Boundless Salvation. The only other way to make that work is you get rid of your extra buff on wings, and you could take Boundless Salvation if you want to. There is a little bit of flexibility there. Most of the time I was running Blessing of Summer. In some of these bigger keys, though, I was running Merciful Auras, because you can see it's doing about 5% of my healing. It's just like really necessary on some of the higher keys. I don't know, guys. I really love that flexibility that Holy Paladin is offering me right now. I can take things like Veneration. I can take Merciful Auras instead of Summer if I need the extra healing. I can take Barrier if I need the extra healing instead of the mana regeneration that you're going to get from Reclamation. So really enjoying it. Really enjoying Holy Paladin right now. If you want a deeper dive on the Veneration stuff, I'm going to do a full video on it showing how it works, what talents you have to take, all that jazz. So stay tuned for that in the future. If you guys have any other questions about Holy Paladin, let me know. I just wanted to give you an update that this thing is slapping right now. It is doing a lot of damage, a lot of healing. I'm very happy with it. It's just going to get better in the days to come. It's just going to get better and better. So stay tuned for more videos. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I love you all. I will see you in the next season 4 video.